Good afternoon, everyone. We live in a digital world where teens of today are more connected than ever before. Smartphones, tablets, computers, these screens are everywhere. Teens can talk to friends, play games, learn, and explore the world right at their fingertips. In fact, according to Common Sense Media, teens in the US spend an average of 8 hours and 39 minutes a day on screens for entertainment. But here's the question we need to be asking. Is all this screen time helping teens grow, or is it doing more harm than it is doing good? Let's take a closer look at how screen time is really affecting the teens of today. There are three very important areas we need to focus on, which include mental health, physical health, and social development. First, let's start with mental health. Studies have shown that spending too much time in front of screens, especially on social media or video games, can lead to serious problems such as anxiety, depression, and social development issues. And trouble sleeping. Can't forget to mention that one. A large study published in JAMA Pediatrics in 2019 found that teens who use screens for more than 3 hours a day were more likely to show signs of anxiety and depression. Think about a teen who continuously scrolls social media for hours upon hours. They are often seeing only the so-called perfect parts of others' lives, such as vacations, flawless selfies, exciting events, and so on and so on. But what they really don't see is the real messy, everyday life that everyone experiences no matter who they are. This can create a feeling of low self-esteem, low self-worth, or insecurity within many teens. A study from the Lancet Child and Adolescent Health in 2019 also found that higher social media use was strongly linked to poorer mental health and well-being, especially among many teen girls. On top of that, the bright screens project a light that is called blue light. It confuses our brains and makes it much harder to sleep. The American Academy of Sleep Medicine warns that using screens before bed is linked to later bedtimes, shorter sleep, and more tiredness throughout the entirety of the next day. As we all know, we don't get enough sleep. It is much easier to feel stressed, moody, or sad. Now, let's turn to the more physical side of screen use. Too much screen time usually means sitting still for very long periods of time, which is not healthy at all. According to the World Health Organization, also known as WHO, physical inactivity is a major risk for factors such as diseases like obesity, diabetes, and heart problems. Poor posture is another big issue. Teens often sit hunched over their phones or laptops. A study from the Journal of Physical Therapy Science found that teens who spend more than 2 hours a day on devices were more likely to report neck, shoulder, and back pain. Then there's the problem of eye strain. The American Optometric Association reports that 59% of people who use screens regularly experience digital eye strain. Symptoms like dry eyes, headaches, and blurry vision. Many teens today are already developing these problems, which used to only mostly affect adults. Sometimes, screen also takes away from the time teens could be spending being active, such as playing sports, walking, biking, or even just sitting outside for a couple minutes. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Sciences, children and teens should get at least 60 minutes of physical activity each and every day. But if they're on their screens for most of their free time, it's very hard to meet this goal. Finally, let's talk about social development within teens. Real-life conversations and friendships are a key part of growing up. We learn how to communicate, understand emotions, and form very close relationships through face-to-face interaction and conversations. But when teens spend hours texting or gaming online, they may miss out on these very important skills. A 2018 study in the Computers and Human Behavior found that teens who spend lots of time online often report feeling more lonely and socially isolated, even though they're connected through their devices. In fact, many teens say that they feel alone even when they're online with friends. Why? Because digital interaction often lacks tone of voice and facial expressions and major uses of body language. The things that help us feel connected to one another is real life. When teens rely too much on screen for communication, they begin to struggle with real-world social skills, like starting a conversation, listening, or resolving conflicts. A 2019 study from the University of Michigan showed that the more time teens spent on screens, the less confident they felt during face-to-face interactions with anybody. So, what can we do with all this information? Well, it's clear that too much screen time can have negative effects on teens' mental, physical, and social health. But let's be honest, screens aren't really all that bad. They help us learn, stay in touch with loved ones, and even sometimes they can help us relax. The real challenge is how we use it in the world and how we manage it. Teens today need support from parents, teachers, and communities to create limits. Here's some simple ideas. You can set screen time for entertainment use. Turn off screens at least 1 hour before bedtime to improve your sleep. You can encourage daily screen-free activities like sports, hobbies, and family time. Family time is very important in this day and age. You can also have your parents can create device-free meals. As in, every dinner, if you're about to go have dinner, you put your phone in a basket or laptop, whatever it is. Put it in a basket so you're not watching it while you're at the table with your family trying to eat dinner. Research from Common Sense Media shows that when families have clear screen rules and practice device-free dinners, teens report feeling happier and closer to their loved ones. It's also important for teens to learn self-awareness about their own screen use. Apps that track screen time can help them understand how much they're spending and encourage healthier habits. In conclusion, screen time necessarily isn't the enemy, but how we use it matters a lot. Too much screen time can harm your mental health, ruin your physical well-being, and even make it to where you struggle so much with social interactions, and it can help improve your social skills if you don't use it that often. But with balance and smart choices, screens can be a very helpful part of one's life. By being aware of these effects and helping teens find a healthy balance, we can give them the tools they need for a happier, healthier, and more connected future. Thank you for listening. Have a great rest of your day.